You know, I'm always talking about what happens when a tree is severely pruned and the subsequent new growth comes out and reforms a new structure. Well, here's a good example. These two sycamore trees, which are London planes, Platanus acerifolius. A long time ago, these trees were severely chopped down to about 10 or 12 feet high. And as you can see, all the subsequent new growth came out and formed an entirely new canopy. From a distance, it looks like these trees are just fine. But what happens is, over the long haul, the areas where these trees were chopped severely starts to decay. Let's get in a little closer and take a look at this poor example of a tree. It's very apparent that this tree has a lot of weakness. And as you can see from this particular area, all the new growth is growing off of these old cuts, and it's actually enveloping the old wound. Well, it's okay for a period of time, maybe 15, even 20 years, but eventually the decay becomes a weakness, and all that added weight is being supported by that weakness. Now this tree over here, you can't even see where this tree was chopped back severely in the past. And if you look up at the canopy, you think, wow, that's not a bad looking tree. But there's all kinds of hidden decay down inside here. Let's take a look at this one closer. Oh, there's a good example. But all the new growth is going to envelop and wrap up around this tree. Now across the street here, there's an example of the same variety of tree that has never been cut back severely, not yet anyway, and you can see the difference in the branch structure. The tree is nice and full, but there aren't any weak areas of decay that the tree is growing off of. So if it weren't for the power lines and the ultimate demise by the power company to butcher this tree to keep it out of their lines, this tree could evolve into something magnificent. Now it's really a shame because there are so many sycamore trees around, well, other trees as well, but sycamore trees are a very common street tree. They get much too large for the locations many people expect them to live in. So rather than choosing the correct tree for the environment, people choose to either severely cut the trees back or deal with them in a manner that may not be conducive to long life or will result in long-term decay.